What if I told you that there are tools out there that can help you feel more alive, sexy, joyful, sensual, and just connected to your feminine radiance, and that these tools are accessible to you no matter what your age, your body type, fitness level, or where you live? Would you think it was too good to be true? Or do you think that that sounds like something that's, available to some women, but maybe not to you because you're too, insert whatever limiting belief you have about yourself here? My name is Carrie Ann Aldridge, and I have been teaching embodiment practices for over 10 years. And I can tell you absolutely that connecting to the gifts of your body can absolutely transform your relationship to yourself, to your life, and to everyone who's in your life. I've been teaching S Factor, which is a feminine movement practice that was featured in the Netflix documentary Strip Down, Rise Up. And I've been teaching it for years. And I own a studio in San Francisco called Sisters in Motion, where we teach this transformational movement. And now, thanks to COVID, which is not something I normally say, but I'll say it here, thanks to COVID, we now offer live virtual classes with a team of amazing teachers who are passionate about teaching women the same embodiment practices that have positively impacted our own lives. So we all became, to all of my teaching team, we all became teachers because this changed our lives for the better. Um, for most of us, I would say, in every way, not to put words into the mouths of my teachers, but, and so we became passionate about giving women these gifts that we've experienced ourselves through this, beautiful embodiment practice. And a little bit about my story. When I found this practice, I was living in Los Angeles, and I came to it thinking that I was already pretty confident in my body. But what I discovered is that at the time, my confidence was dependent on outside circumstances. Was I in a relationship? Was I eating the right foods? Like, did I like how my body was looking? Did people tell me that I looked good? And so it was always dependent on something um, that was like, oh, this thing is working for me, and so therefore I deserve to feel confident. And it's through a feminine embodiment practice that I discovered that it was possible to feel sexy and beautiful and powerful and worthy in my body, because as a woman, that's just my birthright, and it's yours too. And when I learned that, I started living my life from, or embodying, a sense of high self-worth. I set boundaries that honored my heart. I expressed myself more fully. I don't know if you can hear that. It's the pool. Anyway, that's the pool. It's not me. It's, if you can't hear it, then you would never mind. But the result from this practice is that my relationships with other women became healthier as we connected in our celebration of, rather than our competition with one another. I had more access to joy in my body. I learned to move and connect to my emotions in a healthy way, rather than having them be stuck and repressed and then like coming out, in ways that weren't super healthy, and getting them all over other people. But because I felt self-expressed and they were moving and I was no longer feeling shame, but I was connected to them, it really changed how I expressed myself. And I learned more about how my unique body experiences pleasure and movement. And as I did that, I'm not going to lie, my sex life totally got hotter. And I was able to receive from my partner because I felt worthy of that. And now I have, on top of all of that, I have the most beautiful, brilliant community of badass women who are dedicated to lifting up other women rather than tearing them down. And that in and of itself is totally life-changing. So if any of what I just rambled on about sounds exciting to you or resonated with you, you are in luck, because while my studio, Sisters in Motion, is always offering in-studio and virtual classes now, I know that many women don't feel like they have time to create an ongoing practice, or if it's for them and so they want to dip their toe in a little bit, especially if you haven't, consciously made a feminine embodiment practice as a priority in your life, or you're not sure it's for you. And so if that sounds like you, I'm so happy to tell you that for the first time ever, we are offering a 3-day S Factor weekend intensive where you will learn to connect to your body in a totally transformational way. You will feel lit up. You will feel turned on. You will learn how your unique body experiences pleasure and movement, just like I discovered in mine. You'll learn about what feels good in clothing, what type of music your body loves, this is a whole like fascinating thing, but I guarantee you it's totally not what your mind might think that you like. Your body has like its own opinions. I've learned, and it's one of the most fun things that I've discovered, and I love watching other women discover this. But when they like think that they like a certain type of music and it turns out their body loves something totally different, and you can't think your way into it. It has to be an embodied experience, and it's a total trip. And that's my caveat about that. It's one of my most favorite things. So these practices are a way to let, like, along those lines, they're a way of letting your mind release the grip on your body and releasing its judgments, releasing that story of shoulds or should nots, or even forcing the body to comply with the way that your brain thinks that it should be based on, social conditioning, media, expectations of your family and peer groups, all of those things that we've adopted in our life that tells, where this tells this it's not good enough, or it should be different in any way. So you begin to trust the innate wisdom of your body, and you start to trust it to bring you pleasure and authenticity. So in this weekend intensive, you will be led by loving and supportive teachers from my studio to feel the joy and the fun and the power and the juiciness of your body. And if this lights you up and you want to go deeper, then you can join me in my studio in San Francisco for a 5-day, 40-hour intensive called Essential S Immersion. And that will take everything that you learned in this virtual weekend intensive and just magnify it. So if you are ready to connect to your fierce feminine power and the radiance of your sensuality and your pleasure through fluid movement, I invite you to dive into the 3-day virtual S Factor weekend intensive. It's this August 19th through the 22nd. And it will consist of 3 live classes, meaning that they're Zoom, but they're not recorded. So it's an actual teacher who's actually teaching you and interacting with you, and you will be doing the same with her and the other women in the course. And those classes will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific time. And the link to sign up for that will be in the comments below. And then after that, if you you decide that you want to go even deeper and join me in San Francisco for the week-long intensive, then the price that you pay for this virtual course will be applied to the fee for the in-studio immersion. So you basically get the weekend intensive and then the in-studio course for the price of just the in-studio course. And so the in-studio immersion will be September 22nd through the 26th. It'll be 8 hours a day, roughly. Times vary because we're working around an actual working studio schedule. And that will be with me as well as with a couple of guest teachers from my studio. So the virtual course is $499, and the in-studio course is normally $2,200. But if you wanted to sign up for the in-studio course by August 15th, then you'll save $300, and it'll be $1,900. So the links for both of these courses will be in the comments below. And if you're still like, what's this lady rattling on about, and you want more information, you can go to our website at Sisters in Motion SF, as in San Francisco, sistersinmotionsf.com, or you can email our ambassador team at admin@sistersinmotionsf.com. This is the gift to yourself that just keeps on giving, and you absolutely deserve to feel beautiful and lit up in your life. Me and my teaching team, we know, we know, after teaching hundreds of women over the past decade, that you are gorgeous and sensual and radiant, and we live for that moment when we see you remember it too. So I cannot wait to dance with you, whether it's virtually or in the studio, or it's virtual classes, or our embodiment course coming up. We've got all sorts of things that you can come play with, but I really invite you to give yourself this gift. I hope you have a great day.